Once again, welcome back everyone to your online English tutorial classes. So we have started revising the previous chapters and we have begun with a little fish story. In the last class, you have enjoyed the clip on the story, and as told, today we will discuss the question and answers. But before we start that, let us quickly go through the story in a nutshell.
A Little Fish Story. Once upon a time, there was a little fish that lived in the sea with its friends. The little fish was not satisfied with its small size and was always unhappy. A day came when the fish could escape from the meshes of a fisherman's net only because of its small size. From that day on, the fish never complained and was grateful.
So this is the story in short. Now let us start with remembering the word meanings. We will revise the meanings stanza wise. So this is the first stanza of the story. There are a great many million fish in the seas, but this story is just about one of them, and a very small one at that. Here there is only one word which is a bit tough for you, that is million. Million means a very large amount or number. Now let us move on to next paragraph. Now this little fish had everything in the seas to make him contented. So this is the word which is colored in yellow and it's a bit tougher for you. Contented means if you are satisfied, if you are happy, that means you are contented. Okay, now here the little fish was not contented. Here the little fish had everything to be contented, means to be satisfied, to be happy, but he was not happy, and we know the reasons why, right? Now let us move on to next paragraph. It is very hard to be such a little mite of a fish. What is the meaning of mite? Mite means a very small animal. Now here the little fish, as the name suggests, that he is little, right? It means he is a mite, a very small animal. He thought that he is mite, and that actually proved useful to him, right? Next, in the next paragraph, there are three words we can see. First one is thankful, next warning, and the last is meshes. Thankful means a feeling of gratitude. If someone gives you something, if someone makes you feel special, you will be thankful to him or her, right? Means you will be grateful, right? Next is warning. Warning is a statement or event that warns of something, means that tells you, that alerts you, right? Means if suppose a storm is coming and the day before the storm hit, in the television or even in newspaper, the previous day newspaper, you will see there will be many warning notice or alert notice to be cautious, right? That the storm is coming. Those are a kind of warnings. And the third is meshes. Meshes means it's a kind of material which is made up of a network of thread and wire. Thread, we know that the thing that we use to knit a cloth, that is thread. Thread and wire, it's a combination of thread and wire, and we make a network of it, that is called meshes. Okay, now here is the fifth paragraph. Three words are here again: floundering, splashing, and haul. Let's see the meaning of these words. Floundering means struggling or staggering uneasily in water. Now it can be anywhere, it can be in water, it can be any uneasy place, any uneasy situation, but here as the story is based on water, so we have used water here. Means floundering means struggling. If you are trying to get away of something and you are moving your hands and legs very speedily, uneasily, that is floundering. Splashing, a small quantity of liquid that has been dashed against a surface. A small quantity of liquid, mostly water. Okay, if you splash it, means if you sprinkle it hard against a surface, that will be splashing. And the last one is haul. Haul means a number of fish caught. Here, as we can see in the previous picture, that here the fisherman was pulling the haul from the sea, right? Means the number of fish that has been caught in the net in one go, that is a haul. Okay, now let's discuss. Okay, now there is one more paragraph, that is emptied. First one is emptied. Emptied means if you have removed everything from a bucket, say a bucket or anything. Here it means if when the fisherman took out all the fish from the mesh, from the net, that is, the fisherman emptied the mesh, right? Means the fisherman made the mesh vacant, or now the mesh does not contain anything. Okay, next word is wriggled. Wriggled means twisted and turned with quick movements. It is somewhat similar to floundering. Okay, means when you are trying very hard to get away from something, to get rid of something, and moving your hands, moving your legs very speedily, very with the rapid motion, that is wriggling. Swam, we know what is swam though. Swam is the past form of swim. Swimming, we know what is swimming. Swimming is floating in the surface of a liquid, mostly in water. Okay, means when you are floating in the surface of water, be it pond, be it sea, be it river, that is swimming. Okay, now let us discuss the important questions of the chapter of Little Fish story. Here the first question, this is a one mark question. How many fish are there in the sea? The very first line of the story is the answer here. There are a great many million fish in the seas, right? So how many fish are there? A great many million fish are there. Now here all the questions have not been discussed, right, because it has already been given to you previously. So you have to revise all those questions, read all those questions, right? Okay, next, move on to next question. What happened to the fish one day? Now the answer was already given to you, but if you find it hard, many of you told that you found the answer hard to remember. So if you find it hard, here is the another one for you. You can write the yellow colored part here in as your answer. One day he was swimming along with the rest of his school. He means you can replace the pronoun he here with the noun little fish. So you can say it like this. One day the little fish was swimming along with the rest of his school, when suddenly, with no warning, they found themselves in the meshes of a great net. So what happened to the fish one day? This happened, that one day when the little fish was swimming along with the rest of his school, suddenly, with no warning, they found themselves in the meshes of a great net. Alright? Next question. Why was the fish thankful to be a little fish? Now this is a concept based question, right? The answer of this question you will not find in the story directly, but you have to understand the meaning, as this is value based or concept based question. So you have to understand the meaning and write it. So here is one suggestion for you. You can write it like this, or you can use the key points and write it on your own. The answer is, the fish was thankful to be a little fish. The question was, why was the fish thankful to be a little fish? The fish, we get to know at the end of the story that the fish was thankful. Now the question is why? The fish was thankful to be a little fish because he could escape the meshes of the net only due to his mite-like size. It was only because of his size that he was able to get rid of the mesh. He was able to come out of the mesh, right? It was his size who helped him to come out of the mesh. So that is why he was thankful. That is why he never complained after that about his size. Next question. How did the small fish think of own self? Initially, at the beginning of the story, there was the writer wrote that the fish think about this, think about that, about himself. That we want to know, that is a question about that. How did the fish think of own self? The small fish considered himself to be a mite of a fish, means even the smallest of the smaller fishes. He thought of himself to be petty and negligible in the vast ocean. Petty means trivial, means with no significance, with no value with it at all, means no one cared about him. If the fish is of such little size, no one would even look at it. So that is what it means, that no one would care for him. And negligible is similar meaning. Negligible means when someone is not counting you, that means you are negligible. Okay, so the little fish thought himself about like that he is very petty, he is no one counts on him, so he is negligible in the vast ocean. That is what he thought about himself. Next question, why did the little fish never complain about being small? Now this is again a value based question, that why did the little fish never complain about being small? Once he escaped the mesh, the little fish realized the advantages of being small. It is only then he realized that being small has its own advantages, right? When he realized it, when he escaped the mesh, he got his freedom back and was happy about it. Hence, he never complained about his size. Right, so these were the questions, important ones, but there were many other, so you need to read it all. Okay, you can read these answers, you can learn these answers too, or you can use the key points and write answers of your own. We will meet again on next week with some another chapter, revision of another chapter. Till then, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you everyone.